The Stock of the Day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. With over 17,000 markets and extended trading hours, turn US earnings season volatility into opportunity. Get started at IG.com.
And our stock of the day is Boss Energy. It is soaring in percentage terms today. Last I checked, was leading the 200. Overnight, Meta acquired a nuclear power plant from Constellation Energy in the United States. Meta has secured this 20-year contract to power its data centers. The nuclear power plant might also see an additional reactor being built in order to consolidate Meta's energy supply. And with this being Meta's largest power deal ever, the news has boosted the uranium miners. Locally, Boss Energy up by close to 7% to $4.04 just past noon here in Sydney. My guests, Michael Gable from Fairmont Equities and Jonathan Takadina from MPC Markets. Now, Jonathan, I know that we spoke about Boss Energy earlier in the week. We talked about it from more of a fundamental basis, but this news from Meta has lit another rocket under the share price. What are you making of the charts now?
Okay, so if you look at all the charts of all the uranium mines, a lot of the Australian actual producers are lagging. So if you look at Cameco, that's actually right near all-time highs on that. So I think that means that we should actually keep playing catch-up. So the original bounce was on news that Trump was going to shorten the time frame to approve actual uranium deals, nuclear reactors. And that was the initial surge. And I remember it was roughly around the same time when Paladin had talked about its actual production numbers. They were talking about unseasonal rains, and that's why that got hit a lot. But it actually bounced off those numbers. And then Trump came out with the news, and it lit a fire under the whole sector. So what we've seen is that we've had a piece of news that sort of has surged the markets to the current levels. We needed a new catalyst, so we've seen some consolidation. And this is the new catalyst for another leg higher. So I definitely wouldn't want to be taking profits. Give it a chance for it to run on higher from here. And out of the Australian sort of names, Boss is the best fundamentally as well. Like, one thing I like to do is actually invest in companies that, and we'll talk about some of the a gold miner that is produced in Africa. So the thing with Boss, it's got its production out in South Australia near BHP, and whereas some of them are more Africans and Canadians. So that's my pick for the uranium mines here.
So this is a buy.
Yes.
Would you be buying Boss Energy?
In short, yes, and we have been buying it as recently as this morning.
Right.
So, look, I've spoken about the sector. I think this sector can do really well. So where gold has been, the commodity that's been doing really well over the past 12 months, and I think can continue to do well. I think uranium is building up to be the next, sort of big sector that everybody's going to be talking about, and where you'll see some fantastic gains. So, in short, there's not much supply out there for a lot of demand, which is only increasing, and Jonathan's touched on, the US government looking to quadruple its nuclear energy by 2050. We're seeing deals like what was announced overnight with Meta securing 20 years worth of supply. We're just going to continue to see more and more of this happen. The price of uranium in terms of the long-term price has been fairly stable for the past several months, but the utilities, they're going to have to start to come to market pretty soon and pretty quickly, and that'll get the price moving higher. And as the underlying uranium price moves higher, you'll get another leg higher in these share prices. So from $80 at the moment, which is the long-term uranium price, I could see it easily getting to about 120 before all the small producers start to, the smaller mines start to even decide it's worthwhile producing, and by then, Boss Energy will go from $4 to, I think it'll be like an $8 stock if you get a $120 uranium price. So, in short, it's a buy. In terms of the chart, we had a look at this chart several weeks ago. There was some bullish divergence with the RSI, so that's at the bottom, the momentum indicator. RSI, we could see on the far right hand side it's been heading higher, and I've put a blue line there to show that, while the share price in the past few months has been heading lower. So that usually triggers a bit of a move. We've seen that move, and then in the past few weeks it's sort of burst through that that recent peak near sort of 350, 360. So I've put a little horizontal line there to show that. It's sort of sat on top of that horizontal line, and now it's starting to move again. So doing all the right things technically, and yeah, fundamentally I think it's something that we'll be talking a lot more of in the second half of this year.
Thank you, guys. That was the stock of the day being Boss Energy, and it's a double buy.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Turn volatility into opportunity this US earnings season with extended trading hours on over 110 key US shares. Get started at IG.com.